Hey everybody, Tim here with Doc's Autos, and thanks for checking out our channel today. What do we have for you today? We have a long-term, one of two long-term projects when space, time, and budget allows. But what we have is a 1975 Triumph Spitfire that I acquired many years ago from my father. It had been parked from about 1994 when I got my driver's license until 2006, 2007-ish. So plenty of time under wraps in a barn. Let's go ahead and get it uncovered here for you and take a look. So off the top, it looks like a pretty good car, good shape. The interior, not too bad. I actually reupholstered these seats using my 7th grade home ec skills when I first got the car from my dad. Threw a little speaker box in the back because I like music. Otherwise, he refinished the vehicle in the early 80s. Changed it from the banana yellow to the British racing green. There's just a hint of metallic fleck in here. The downside is the paint is pretty much shot. So we will be doing a complete paint job on it. You can see, it's all cracked along here, spidered. Otherwise, the body is in pretty good shape, except for one spot where he whacked it with the snowblower many years ago. Here, as you can see, where the paint is cracking off. Tires, probably a lot less than 1,000 miles on them. Rims I had repainted when I brought it back. So, it's still been about 13, 14 years since I've had it. Trunk is good. I've got the cover, the split cover for over the cab. It will be a full frame-off restoration. There is some rot from underneath. I can probably show you a little bit here. There is some rot under here that I was able to box back in on the bottom of the frame, but the frame itself does need to be replaced. And I actually have a new frame, or a new to me frame, that I've had for about the same amount of time, 13, 14 years. Move the hose reel. I was looking for a speedometer for the car because the one that came with the vehicle is frozen, and I found one down in Illinois and just happened to ask if they knew of a place where I could find a frame. And they said, we have one in our basement. So for a few $100s, I bought the frame and luckily had some connections and had it shipped up to me. Now this is the Spitfire 1500, so it has just a little 4-cylinder 1493cc engine in it. The standard single Stromberg carb in there. Otherwise, the engine runs pretty well. I rebuilt the carburetor on it a couple of years ago. That's pretty good, but it needs to be refreshed. I think my father overboarded a few thousandths when he redid it. Otherwise, it has the 4-speed manual transmission, does not have the overdrive on it. Have to forgive me, I'm starting to get the plague here in the winter. I did retain the same collector plate when I got the car, had standard plates. I did retain the same name that my father had it, just in collector status. He does like giraffes, so I figured that was a nice tribute to him, keeping that going. Otherwise, the car runs, drives pretty well. Everything just needs to be refreshed. The grommets, the shocks, the springs, all that stuff. Probably go through, replace all the ignition stuff, put electronic ignition in here, my main goal is to restore it. Same engine, just bring forward some of the technology. Go for electronic ignition. I will probably do a disc brake conversion on the front so that we have, I'll do a disc brake conversion on the rear. So we have disc brakes all the way around. And just clean things up, get rid of the old Lucas electrical system in here, who everybody knows is prone to having issues. Probably throw just a hot rod harness in there and get that wired up. Otherwise, I'm going to keep with the same engine. Some folks say you can stuff a small block V6 in here, shortened forward rear end. That's not really my goal. This thing is enough of a fun little ride as is, without having to go through and hop it up anymore. I do have a family and kids and would like to be around for them and not wrapping around a telephone pole or a tree. So that is one of our longer projects here. So again, do need to build our shop. You do need to get space to do this, since I can't keep moving my car out every day or the wife's car to work on projects, especially in the winter or inclement weather. And I just need a place to work and not be having to put things away every time, because inevitably parts will get lost, stuff will go missing. Otherwise, the body is straight, the frame is straight. Frame, of course, getting replaced, but door panels are good. I may look at putting speaker cutouts in here. Who knows? I've got a few up here I was planning to put in. Just a little better sound. I mean, you don't need a lot of sound, but I did go ahead and throw a sub in here, a little custom enclosure. The cover does only have the soft top. It is still in good shape. There's a few minor flaws with it, but it keeps the rain out. The downside is I'm a little tall, so my head hits the roof when we are driving with it up. So it's pretty much a fair weather vehicle. So, with that, we'll leave this one as a first part of many parts to come. Who knows, maybe over the next summer, I'll do something minor with it. Not sure what. Maybe replace, I replaced the clutch stuff. I replaced the brake stuff. Short of starting to dig into everything, I don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot unless I get extremely bored. But again, I've got so many other projects if I get that bored to work on. So for right now, I guess we'll just leave it as this and catalog it under projects to be started. So if you're liking work on the old Spitfires, MGs, Fiats, anything like that, go ahead and follow this thread, follow the channel, and as time permits, we'll go ahead and post more things about this car. Another thing coming down the road will be a series on our 1952 Chevy style line. That is the four-door deluxe sedan, 3 on the tree, old inline 6. I have no plans to do a full restoration of that. The patina on the paint is great. There's just a few blemishes in the body I would like to try and pound out, beat out. I have gone ahead and done quite a bit of work on that already. New floor pans in the front, new fuel system. It's got new tires. Just a handful of stuff like that. So mechanically, everything in the vehicle works right now. Short of replacing the brake lines, there's a leak in one of the lines to replace. Otherwise, mechanically, the car runs well. The transmission is great. Of course, everything leaks. 1952, of course. Electrically, when I got the car from my buddy, everything worked in it except, I think, the radio and one blinker. The gauges all worked, with the exception of the fuel sender. That was replaced with the whole fuel tank swap. So fuel tank, lines, all the driving mechanical stuff, the electrical stuff, the lights work great. It just needs, again, a kind of a once-over, go through the suspension on it. The steering needs to be tightened up. That is quite sloppy, so I'll replace likely the pins in there. Otherwise, interior, that's going to be a big thing. The mice kind of made that a home for a number of years. So I spent the last couple of seasons, like I said, replacing the floor pans, making sure the critters stay out of the vehicle. And once that happens, I can go through and tear into the interior a little more. I'm going to reupholster the seats myself, picking up a new headliner from Eckler's Early Chevy. So that car is going to be a little more of a, as time permits, project I can just wheel here into the garage and work on that. It does run, it does drive. The goal for that is to be the church car for Sunday. So I've got the seat belts for the back for the kids and car seats and whatnot. So otherwise, that will be you'll probably see that a little more often before you see the Spitfire here. So for right now, if you're looking at other old restoration projects, go ahead and follow that series once it is up. Otherwise, go ahead and check out the rest of our videos. We've got the red BMW X3 here. We've got the Subaru, the wife's car, a couple of videos there. We've got the LED headlight video coming up. If you have not already seen that, a couple of projects on Truck North, the F350, and whatever else we have floating around here, like the good old Cub Cadet lawn tractor, maybe some other random DIY fun projects. So if any of that stuff interests you, or you're just looking for somebody to mock online, go ahead and hit like and subscribe below. And until I catch you again, have a good day and stay safe. Bye-bye.